Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. Now let's go to the game site for all the action.
And good evening, Wildcat fans. John Ball, Matt Ball with you from the Marion Family Complex, the Roy B. Schaefer Stadium. And what you see is the Neosho Wildcats as they're warming up, doing infield warm-ups before they take on the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. Matt, the wind is blowing.
Yeah, if you guys can look out there and see the flags out there, you can see the wind is popping. It's blowing at about 21 miles an hour out of the west to the east is what it looks like from here.
Yeah, and this very well could be a launching pad for the Cats, so we want to make sure that we enjoy all of the entertainment. Thank you for being with us. We are pleased to be able to be here, but hey, don't just take our word for it. Come on out here. It's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Other than wind blowing, the Cats are taking on the Lebanon Yellow Jackets, and there will be a JV ball game after this, and it doesn't get much better than baseball in Neosho in April. We are certainly glad to be here. The Yellow Jackets come in with a record of 3-6 after having gone 3 seasons at over 20 wins. They've got a new head coach. He's new to them, but he's not so new to us. It is Alex Wheeler of East Newton fame. This is his first year as the head coach. They've got 2 All-State honorees that are playing, and they start off with senior Cole Milliken, who is a Missouri State commit, and a junior catcher who is on the mound tonight in Beckham York. They're both hitting. Beckham is hitting a .557 last year clip, and Milliken hit a .478 clip. It's a young season for both teams, and we're excited to get things going. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, the Tire and Auto Center. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Barry Reel with the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. And if you're watching the game tonight, you probably like winners. You probably want your team to win, and I understand that. Every game's going to have a winner and a loser, but I want to encourage you in life to find the winning team. Jesus Christ is leading the winning team, and he wants you on his team. Joshua says that we have to choose which side we're going to be on. He says, choose you this day who you're going to serve. So I want to encourage you, along with Joshua in the Old Testament, to choose a team to serve. Call out on the Lord today. Talk to him, trust him, and see what he'll do in your life. I want to encourage you to choose the winning team. That's Jesus' team. I hope it'll be your team. For KNEO Radio, this is Barry Reel.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to give you some encouragement today. No matter how far you feel from God, right now, did you know he's never more than a prayer away? Psalm 145 says, "The Lord is near to all who call upon him." If you need to reconnect with God today, he's just one prayer away. If you need to ask for forgiveness, he's just one prayer away. If you need God's help or guidance, all it takes is a prayer. If you haven't talked to God in weeks and you know your relationship with him isn't as it should be, cry out to him. It's just one prayer away. And if salvation is what you need, ask him. He's just one prayer away. Have you talked to God today? He's waiting to hear from you. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
My name's Pastor James with the Neosho Church Nazarene. Just have a privilege here to share with you a word of encouragement today. You know, in the world in which we live, people are always making plans. We're trying to navigate through life, and sometimes life can be kind of complicated and rather layered as we're trying to figure out direction and trajectory and all of these things. But the Bible tells us to commit all of our plans to the Lord, to trust in the Lord with all our heart, to lean not on our own understanding, to acknowledge Him in all our ways, and He will make our path straight. I'm a firm believer that the Lord has incredible plans for our lives, and so many times we deviate from those because we get to chasing after all of these other things that are out there in the world. The Bible tells us that before we were even born, that the Lord had things that He wanted our lives to accomplish. And so I would just encourage all of you today, and I don't think it's by accident that you've stumbled across this video, and I would just encourage you to seek the Lord, to lean in and to find out what He has for your life, because I promise you that will be the best life that you could live. May the Lord bless you. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Welcome back to Roy B. Schaefer Stadium. We are awaiting the starting lineups for both these ball clubs. Talking with Coach Wheeler a little while ago, he said that they took a defeat at the hands of Joplin. Joplin beat them 13-2. He said, however, his young ball club gave them 6 in the first inning, Matt.
Oh, my.
But he said Joplin hit the ball, and they hit the ball on the nose. And he said, man, we just couldn't string anything together. And knowing Coach Wheeler the way that we do, I anticipate good things for this Lebanon bunch going down the road, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we've got a couple of new sponsors this year, and we want to thank them very much. First of all, Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Their home opener is tonight, or is on April the 7th. They'll have a 6-game homestand with the Amarillo Sod Poodles, and it'll go through the 12th of April on a Sunday. For more ticket information, visit NorthwestArkansasNaturals.com. They're a supporter of high school baseball on KNEO. The other one is in Springfield, Missouri, the Springfield Cardinals. Home opener, it's going to be Tuesday night on the 7th as well, and they begin a 6-game homestand with Tulsa Drillers, and it'll end on the 12th. That's on a Sunday. For more information, visit SpringfieldCardinals.com, a supporter of high school baseball as well. And if that's not enough baseball for you, I'll tell you what, you need to go out and watch the Crowder College Rough Riders when you get an opportunity. That's a great, great ball club, and Coach Travis Lallman has got those kids tuned up and ready to go. Right now, they are 15-2 in their conference. Matt, can you believe that?
Well, I'm glad that they've got a great record.
Yeah. This young ball club, Lebanon, they have not scored a whole lot of runs. They average about 5 a game, but they give up 7. And as I said, they're just coming off of a defeat by Joplin. Cats come in on the other hand after a rough loss to Waynesville, their first COC conference ball game. They got beat 10-7. On the mound for the Cats this year is University of Arkansas commit Brody Crane, who also helped the Team USA win the World Cup last year. But the other guy out there also is a senior Cooper Charlton, with sophomore Jack Goodell is in relief. However, our center fielder is coming in, and that is Drake Jennings. He'll be on the mound tonight for the Cats, so it should be an exciting ball game. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube, the Tire and Auto Center. We're going to take another timeout, and we'll be right back. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
The Neosho R5 School District is committed to shaping the future, one student at a time. From academics to athletics, we empower our students to reach their full potential, installing values of hard work, teamwork, and integrity. We would like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today and cheering on our Wildcats. Our dedicated teachers, staff, and coaches work hand in hand to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success. Together, we're building a brighter tomorrow for our community. The Neosho R5 School District, where excellence thrives.
I learn best by doing.
I enjoy helping others.
I want to leave my mark.
Here, I discovered what I can do and who I can become.
What begins on this campus moves into studios, hospitals, and communities around the globe.
This is Missouri Southern State University.
Explore boldly.
Care deeply.
Impact globally.
One expanded mission built with lion pride.
Today's sporting event is being made available for your family by Chris Wright of Dig Right Equipment Rental, located just off Highway 49 at the Carterville exit by Casey's. Open Monday through Friday and Saturdays till noon with rentals of outdoor construction equipment and even attachments for your machines. Chris Wright of Dig Right Equipment Rentals is a proud supporter of today's game. 417-317-4995.
Compton CPA Group PC, located at 112 Northwood in Neosho, is a full-service accounting firm and is proud to support the Neosho Wildcats. Compton CPA Group PC can assist you at every stage of your financial life and help you work toward your financial goals. From tax preparation to bookkeeping services, Compton CPA Group PC has you covered. For all your tax and business affairs, call 417-451-2932 or learn more at ComptonCPAGroup.com.
Welcome back to the Marion Family Complex. John Ball, Matt Ball with you. We're about 15 minutes away from getting this ball game underway, but continue to talk about the Cats for a minute. They had a 20-game winning season, Matt, last year for the first time since, I believe, around 2018. One of the mainstays for the ball club last year and is with us again this year is second baseman Jaden Fisher, who during basketball season broke his big toe, but he's got that out of the way, and he'll be playing defensively for us as well. As we said, Drake Jennings, a junior who, by the way, the last time we played here, he was 2 for 2, and he brought in a couple of runs, and we'll talk about manufacturing runs here in just a few minutes. Cats stand at 7-3 right now, and they've lost the last 2, and they are just faunching at the bit in order to right the ship. The Cats play at home next Monday. Now, that won't be a ball game that we'll telecast. Our next telecast ball game will be on Thursday evening, April 9th, and it'll be at home against district foe Glendale, who, by the way, is 8-2. So it should be an exciting time. A lot of baseball coming your way. We'll grab another timeout. We will come back, and we'll have keys to the Cats, what we feel like the Cats have got to do in order to win tonight, the starting lineup, and much, much more. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcats Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Helping your teen learn smart money habits doesn't have to be complicated. First Community Bank's teen checking account is built for tweens and teens 11 and up with parents in mind. Teens get their own debit card, ATM access, and mobile check deposit, plus a bundled savings account to help them plan ahead. Parents get peace of mind with no monthly fees, parental debit card controls, alerts and notifications, joint ownership, and full account access. Stop by any First Community Bank location to open a teen checking account today. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for details.
Looking for extra space near Neosho? At 86 Mini Storage, we offer secure open parking for RVs, campers, and vehicles. Plus, we have a selection of storage units that can hold whatever you need. Conveniently located in western Neosho with 24-hour access for our customers, and right now, your first month is free. To find out what spaces are currently available or request a unit, visit 86ministorage.com or call 417-621-1601.
A business impact partner of KNEO is ProLube Tire and Auto Center in Neosho. Serving the area since 2001, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. ProLube Tire and Auto Center offers tire and brake repair, as well as transmission service, front-end alignments, and more. Located at 1406 North Business 49 in Neosho. For more information, 417-221-6795 or online at proluberepair.com.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank.
Missourians know we've got their back. For 75 years, they've turned to Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance for dependable, personalized life insurance coverage. That's 75 years protecting families and the lives they've built. For small town values and big time protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Welcome back to Neosho Wildcat Baseball. Keys for the Cats is sponsored by State Farm agent Eric Norris in Neosho, located at 437 West Kohler Street in Neosho. Eric and his team offer a variety of insurance services for individuals and businesses. Learn more online at ericnorrisinsurance.com or by phone at 417-451-6666.
Okay, keys for the Cats. Let's start out talking about what we know about this ball club. These Cats are known for aggressive base stealing. In the ball game that they played that we saw here a week or so ago, they had 4 hits, but the base stealing and the aggressive running was what won the ball game for them. We won that ball game by a score of 5-1 over the Pittsburgh Dragons. Also, we stringed together a pretty stingy defense. As we said, we're about 4.9 runs that we give away, which is just pretty good. With overpowering pitching, however, it is real easy to get complacent. Let's stay focused and shut down the Yellow Jackets' offense, and we'll have a great opportunity to be able to do that. And then it says, let's take exactly what they give us. We have the ability in this ball club. We've got some good hitters, but we've got some slap hitters, and we've got some hitters that are able to knock the ball to the opposite field. For a right-handed batter, that means taking an outside pitch and knocking it into right field, and that works out really well when you've got a runner on first, because if the ball goes into the right field corner, that means he's going to come around to second, maybe even third. That's our MO. That's exactly what we do. We get on base and then we manufacture runs. What better time, Matt, to right the ship than tonight here in the front of the hometown crowd? So what we want to say at this point is go Cats!
Absolutely.
And district playoff. We now know that district playoff will be in Ozark. Ozark, Missouri is where it will be hosted, and they've got a brand new baseball field that they want to show off. And we're excited because the baseball field they've had in the past is leaving a little something to be desired, not only for us but for other teams as well, and them as well. So we're excited that Ozark deserves to, and they get a brand new turf baseball field. In that district will be Branson, Glendale, Joplin, Kickapoo, Neosho, Nixa, Ozark, and Republic. So we're excited to get this month down through. There's a lot of baseball to be played, the first part of May, and then we'll go to Ozark and we'll bring you those games as well. We're going to take one more time out, and we'll come back with the starting lineup, and we'll be ready to get this ball game underway. You're watching the Wildcats on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
All right, welcome back to the Robbie Shaver Baseball Stadium. We're going to get this ball game underway here in just a couple of minutes, so let's go over the starting lineups. For the visiting Lebanon Yellow Jackets, coached by Alex Wheeler, the first hitter will be number 7, Cole Milliken, and he'll be playing shortstop. Number 2 hitter is number 8, Beckham York, and he'll be pitching tonight. In the third hole will be number 25, Harrison Kramer, and he'll be playing first base. The cleanup hitter will be number 13, Brody Shoemaker, and he'll be playing center field. In the 5 hole is Braden Christian. He wears number 1 on his back, and he'll play second base. In the 6 hole, Austin Gribby, and he will be playing a third base. He wears 6 on his back. The designated hitter will be Malachi Simmons. In the 8 hole, number 22 is Kason Grass, the right fielder, and the left fielder will be number 9 in the batting order, number 23, Huckleberry Honey. The catcher will be the designated hitter, and he is Eric Misler. And we'll be getting ready to get this ball game underway in just a few minutes. The Cats are warming up, so let's go over to the other side. And let's talk about the Cats. They come in with a record of 7-3, coached by Keith Kilgore. He has several different assistants that help him out, and they're excited to be here today. We'll start off with a pitcher, and he also wears number 13. The number 1 hitter for the Wildcats is Drake Jennings. In the 2 hole, Colton Harville wears number 8, and he'll be playing third base. The designated hitter will be number 4, and that's Brody Crane. In the 4 hole, the first baseman, Tevin Beavers, he wears number 15. Number 3, Gage Harville, playing shortstop, will be in the 5 spot. The 6th spot is Wyatt Woodward, who we may see come into the ball game to pitch as well. He wears number 32, and he'll be playing left field. Cooper Charlton will be in right field, and he wears number 21. He's the 7 hitter. Aiden McCroy is the catcher. He wears number 19, and the number 9 hitter will be Logan Hearn. He wears number 11 and plays center field, and we're ready to get this ball game underway. So here's Cole Milliken. There's the first pitch. It's high and outside for a ball. Designated hitter, or the flex player for the Neosho Wildcats, is Jaden Fisher out at second base. Here comes the next pitch. It's outside for a ball. As we said, Drake Jennings is on the mound for the Wildcats. One of the best hitters for the Lebanon group is Mr. Milliken. He was an All-State honoree last year. There's a call strike. That'll make the count 2 balls and a strike. He steps out for a minute, steps back in. There's the next pitch, and that's swung on to the shortstop, Gage. Gage picks it up, gets over to first base for the first out. So Harville over to Beavers, and there's the first out. And this ball game is underway. Here is Beckham York, the pitcher. He'll be stepping in from the left-hand side of the plate, and he'll be trying to put the ball out in the right field. Now, if you look at that flag that we see over there by George Washington Carver, it is straight out. That means the ball is going to travel from right field to left field, so that power alley will be open. There's the first pitch, high and outside for ball 1.
If I was anybody, I would really want to pop it up and see how far the wind will carry it.
You better believe it. There's the next pitch, and that's in there for a call strike. That'll even the count at 1-1. Drake Jennings, the first time we've seen him pitch, he normally plays center fielder, and he is a speedily kicks off. The ball comes over it bounced to Beavers, and he takes it himself for the second out. So 3 unassisted, and the Cats are in business, 2 outs. Harrison Kramer is going to be the batter. He is the first baseman. He's a pretty good-sized lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Really big.
Yes, he is. And there is the first pitch. That's call strike 1. Now, from our perspective, it looks like the home plate umpire is giving a little bit of leeway up high to the pitcher. There's another swung on, and it goes over to third base to Colton Harville and over to Beavers and the side is retired 1-2-3. And just like that, at the end of 1/2 inning, the score is 0-0. The Cats are coming up. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. State Farm agent Eric Norris and his team are here to help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call and saves you time and money. So go for the win and score big savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Eric Norris at 417-451-6666 for more information. And go Wildcats!
Welcome back. We're ready for the Wildcats' half of the first inning. Beckham York, who by nature, Matt, is a catcher. In fact, as a catcher, that's how he got to be an All-State honoree last year. But he is on the mound, and Misler is behind the plate for him. He's going to take just a couple of more, and we'll be ready to go. Jennings, Harville, and Crane for the Cats. And if anybody gets on, Beavers will be up.
You know, being a catcher and a pitcher, that's pretty dangerous, actually. It can be dangerous for our guys, you know.
Well, it is. It is.
He already knows everything.
Yeah, that's so true. And if you remember, Brody Crane did a little bit of catching for us as well.
And it does help out.
His arm makes a world of difference, and I never will forget last year he caught a ball out in right field, right next to the pin, and threw it in the air to home plate and got the guy out.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Here comes the first pitch from York. That's high and outside for a ball. Drake had 7 pitches in that last inning. Here comes the next pitch, and there's a call, strike 1. The reason that's important is because any one pitcher can pitch 115 pitches. In fact, if he gets in a week, that means he's got to take a little time off. There's a little bit of chin music, high and inside for ball 2. York backs off a little bit, and he's back up there again. And there's the next pitch, and that's ball 3. So what we do is we get Drake on base, and with his speed, we just manufacture runs. There's the next pitch, and that's swung on, strike 2. They'll even the count at 2-2.
Full count.
Full count, okay. We'll get the scoreboard going here in a minute, and I won't look near so silly. But it's a full count, and there's the next pitch, and it's popped up. Second baseman is underneath it, and he'll make the call, and there's the first out.
Oh, man. The ball carried forever up there.
So Jennings flies out to the second baseman, Christian, and here's Colton Harville, the third baseman for the Cats. Where's number 8 on his back, and he looks over and he steps back in. One of the things I've noticed, Matt, is our hitters, they talk to each other a lot. There's the first pitch, and that is outside for a ball. And by talking to each other, one person can see something somebody else can't see.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference. There's the next pitch, and there's a
Nice
swung on and hit right up the middle. And the Cats are going into business. So Harville gets his first hit. And here's Brody Crane. Brody looks down at third base to Coach Keith Kilgore. Continues to look a little bit. Under normal circumstances, this might be a bunting situation, but we sure don't want to take the bat out of his hands. Here's the first pitch, swung on, strike 1. It'll be Beaver and then Gage Harville, the shortstop. There is one out. No score in the ball game in case you're just joining us. There's the next one, and that is almost got away from the catcher, but that's a ball, and that'll even the count at 1-1. A beautiful afternoon. You got plenty of time to get on out here. The people are starting to pour in just a little bit at a time. The Cats would love your support. There's a pitch that's high and inside for a ball. It'll make the count 2 balls and a strike. And we do have the scoreboard going over there. Thank you, ladies. We appreciate that. Yeah, I know you're trying, but we'll make it work. York looks over to first, and there is a pitch, and Colton is off, and he is there.
Safe. Nice steal.
So that's exactly what we do. Harville gets second base. And the count now is 3-1 on number 4, the big designated hitter, Brody Crane. I'm sure if he gets a pitch that he likes, he'll be swinging.
Boy, I would if I was him with the wind blowing the way it is. Mm-hmm. He just needs a good hit.
York looks back. There's a pitch, and it's called strike 1 on the outside, strike 2 on the outside corner. So far, York has thrown 12 pitches, and we want to keep him throwing those pitches. He looks back at second base. Here comes his pitch, and that's ball 4. So Crane walks, runners on first and second for the Cats. And here's the number 4 hitter, Tivin Beavers. He plays first base. This is what the Cats do. They manufacture runs by the speed of their base runners. York on the mound. He looks back at second base, looks at the pitcher, looks back at second base. Here comes the pitch. Ball, and it gets away from the catcher, and everybody's going to move up.
Double steal.
So now we've got Arville, who led off with a single around to third base. We've got Crane on second base, and ball 1 to Beaver, the big first baseman. Here comes the next pitch, and that's high, and a little chin music, and he jumps back out of the way for ball 2. They're playing him just pretty much straight away. Right field power alley is wide open.
Here they go.
And there's a ball, and we got away from the catcher, and we've got our first score. So just exactly like we talked about, we manufacture runs.
Yes.
And now we've got Harville in, and the score's 1-0 in favor of the Cats. Crane is on third base, and the count is now 3-0 to Beaver. Ball 4, and he walks.
I tell you, it is so fun to watch the way that the Cats run the bases.
It is. It is really exciting. So here's the shortstop, Gage Harville, and he's going to bat left-handed. Everybody's running out there getting everything out of the way. There's a lot of times a hitter will have a pad or some sort on his leg, and it's not too conducive for running.
I feel like a squeeze play's coming.
Harville batting from the left-hand side, and
yep.
And Beavers takes off for second base, and of course nobody's going to do anything about it. Now we've got timeout, and the coach is going to come out and try to settle things down. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcats Network. We want to thank some of our sponsors. We want to be able to thank, of course, Neosho School District, People's Bank of Seneca, Missouri Southern State University, Dig Right Equipment Rental, Compton CPA, First Community Bank, 86 Mini Storage, ProLube, the Tire and Auto Center, and we're getting ready to go back again. Cats are up 1-0, and there is one out in the bottom of the first inning.
Sometimes you just got to calm your guys down.
Yeah, you do. You certainly do. And, Most pitchers will tell you the wind doesn't bother them, but I'm not real sure that's the case in a lot of cases.
Well, especially today.
So there is one ball to Gage Harville, and there's this ball high and outside. York is having some control troubles, and Cat's base stealing is not helping any. There's a call. Strike one.
Because the Cats would much rather get base hits right now with everybody on the base right now.
Hey, we'll take what we can get, but you're absolutely right. We'd rather hit the ball. And there's a ball outside, and that'll make the count 3-1. So the count is 3-1 to the batter. Here comes the next pitch. Swung on. Strike two to Gage Harville. Trying to hit the ball to right field. There is a big, big opening in that power alley in right center field. York turns and pitches, and there it is. Call strike three.
Caught him looking.
So there is the second out of the inning. And here's the left fielder, Wyatt Woodward. He will bat from the left-hand side as well. Cats have got a great opportunity. Runners on second and third. They've already picked up one in this inning. There's the first pitch, and there's swung on. It is a high pop fly. We'll see who calls for it. Left fielder calls for it, and he's got it. So the side is retired, but the Cats pick up one. So it's 1-0 after one inning. We'll be right back. You're watching the Cats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Joe Ringstaff is a proud sponsor of the Neosho Wildcats on KNEO. For all your investment needs, call 417-451-7789 or stop by the office at 2502 Lusk Drive, Suite D in Neosho. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
Welcome back. Top half of the second inning. The Neosho Wildcats up over the Lebanon Yellow Jackets by a score of 1-0. And we did what we normally do. Colton Harville got a single, stole second base, took third on a pass ball, and another pass ball. He came on home and scored. For the Yellow Jackets, it is going to be Shoemaker, Christian, and Gilby. Shoemaker steps in. He plays center field. Where's number 13? And there's the first pitch, and it's in there for call strike one.
I never knew Drake could pitch.
Well, we've not seen him, but different things happen.
Yeah.
He does. There's the next pitch, and that's swung on. And third baseman gets it. What a great play by Harville that time to come across in front of the shortstop and make the play. So 5-3, and that retires the first side. And that is 2 pitches. That is 9 pitches so far that Jennings has thrown. Here's number 1, Braden Christian, he plays second base. Wind just continues to blow, and I mean, it's blowing just pretty good. Yeah, there's the first pitch, swung on, strike one. Took a little something off of that one because Christian was about 3 feet in front of that one when he swung at it. There's the next pitch. That's low for ball one. That'll even the count at 1-1. Here comes the next pitch. And Drake throws that one a little low and inside for ball 2. So the count's 2 balls and a strike to the second baseman, Braden Christian. So next pitch, and that's in there for call strike 2. Yeah, got him, strike 3. So there's the first strikeout for Drake.
I think that was a curveball.
I believe it was too. 2 outs, and here's Gilby, the third baseman. Charlton, the right fielder, is almost straight into the scoreboard, and there is a ball that is a routine ground ball that you don't see Gage do very often, and he just let it get past him. So runners on first base, E6. It's the first base runner of the night for Lebanon. That brings up the designated hitter, Malachi Simmons. Drake looks back to second, looks down, throws the ball over to first base, and runners back in plenty of time. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on, and it's a little bouter over to first, over the pitcher, and there's the third out to retire the side. So the side is retired 1-3. There was no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. Cats are up by a score of 1-0. We'll be right back.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057. Check out the Family Market Facebook page for weekly specials. Go Wildcats from Family Market of Neosho.
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.
Hi, I'm Sam O'Neill with Portable Propane of Neosho. From setting tanks to refilling them, we offer a full spectrum of service to meet your every need. We serve Neosho and surrounding areas, and we are committed to giving you better service at better prices. Give us a call today, 417-437-8927. Thank you.
Want to know what your home is worth? Stop by to get a free competitive market analysis with Show Me Real Estate of Neosho. They're proud to serve the Neosho area and will stay with you every step of the way, whether you're buying or selling. A family-owned business for over 25 years, Show Me Real Estate of Neosho. 417-451-1700 or by email at gkitchen.showmerealestate@gmail.com. Home of the Happy Campers.
Welcome back. It's the top half of the third inning. Cats are up by a score of 4-0 over a COC rival, the Lebanon Yellow Jackets. On the mound for the Cats is Drake Jennings, and so far he has thrown 15 pitches. That particular inning, 18 were thrown, of 22 going into where the last time, so that York has thrown 40 pitches. And it's going to be the number 8 hitter, number 22, the right fielder Tyson Gress. Then it will be Huckleberry Honey, and it's the top of the batting order.
Ball one.
Ball one. Here comes the next pitch from Jennings, and that's swung on, and it gets past the second baseman. So there's the first actual hit of the ball game, and that was by Gress. I said it got past the second baseman. He had no chance. That was in one of those no man land hits. That brings up the final batter of the batting order, Huckleberry Honey, the left fielder. Drake working from the stretch. There's the first pitch, and he signaled to foul and fouled that one almost over the backstop for strike one. Coach Wheeler over on third base line giving signals. Honey steps out, looks back in. There's it is. There's another bunt. This time it's picked up by Charlton, and he gets it over there. And nice job by Beavers to pick that ball up for the first out. But Gress moves on to second base. It was a nice pickup by Harville that time, and got the ball on over to first base, and it was a nice dig out by Beavers. So there's one out. Here's Cole Milliken. He grounded out 6-3 his first time up. There's the first pitch, swung on, strike one. When we say Harville, Matt, I guess we're going to have to say either C or high. There is a fly ball, and Gage Harville is underneath it, and the third baseman picked it. They don't get it, and that ball bounces in.
Got him out.
Got him. Nice play by the Cats. The ball bounced, and Jennings alertly went over to third base.
He slid past the base and tagged him.
Slid past the base and tagged him, so the runner is still standing there. And Coach Wheeler is hot. But he is out, and that's a second out. But there's still runner on first base, and that is Milliken from one of those kind of a high fly in between deals, but it's a base hit all the same.
Well,
so that ball went from the shortstop 6-1 for the second out. And the base umpire said that the base runner slid past the base, and that was Gress, and Jennings was alert enough to make the tag. There's a throwback. over to first base. The wind, I believe, has picked up some more, Matt, and if that's possible.
Well, it's making the ball do all kinds of weird
It
things
really
out
is.
there. And,
there's a ball outside.
And then not to talk about the sun popping out. And so it's both teams are struggling right now as far as it goes with the sun and the way that the wind's blowing the ball. But it's not carrying it. It's just making it stay up in the air.
Swung on strike. And that will even the count at 1-1. York's the pitcher of record right now, and he steps back in. He can do something, and there is a hit and run. Goes right back to Gage. Gage over to first base, and that retires the side. So there were no runs on one hit and no errors. Nice alert play by the Cats. After 2.5 innings of play, the score is 4-0 in favor of your Neosho Wildcats. We'll be right back.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
Healthcare doesn't have to be complicated. At the Free Market Physician in Neosho, you pay just one affordable monthly fee, and that covers all the checkups and routine care you need. No insurance hassles, no surprise bills, just unlimited access to your doctor when you need them. Whether it's a quick visit, telemedicine, or ongoing care, you're covered. Find out how simple healthcare can be. Call 417-312-9499 or visit freemarketphysicians.com. That's 417-312-9499.
Bottom half of the third inning, and the Cats are up by a score of 4-0. It'll be Charlton and McCoy and Hearn. Charlton was the one that started the last inning. He got a walk and came on around to score. He'll step in, and he bats from the left-hand side of the plate, and he will face Beckett York. York wipes a little bit of sweat away. I'll tell you, a can of corn is not a sure catch, is it, Matt?
No, not tonight.
There's the first pitch, and that is a ball. There's the second pitch, and that is high, and he gets away from the catcher for ball 2. Beckett York has been struggling. He has thrown 40 pitches in the first 2 innings, and the first 2 pitches this inning are balls. Good crowd here. Come on out. You have a lot of fun. And there's a call strike on the outside corner. Charlton steps out for a minute. He steps back in. He's playing right field for the Cats. He pitched the other night, and there is a pretty well hit ball, only it is fouled and it's out of play. So that'll even the count at 2-2. York working from the windup, and there's ball 3 high and outside. Full count on Charlton. It'd be okay if we did the same thing again, wouldn't it? Huh? He'd walk on first base and then manufacture another run or 2 for the Cats.
Yeah.
And there's a ball that is hit, and I believe that's going to drop in. Yes, it does, and Charlton is...
No, he's still flying.
Yes, he is.
Got him out.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Charlton was on second base, came on around to third, and looked like he slid in, but nice throw in. So we're going to give him a double, and then he's thrown out. So there's the first out, and that's actually a 6-5 out. And then Coach Kilgore is not happy about that.
No, they had a discussion.
No, they did. Here's the catcher, Aiden McCoy. Here comes the first pitch, and that's in there for call strike 1. That was a little old blooper that did exactly the same thing everything else has done up to this point, and Charlton with his speed thought he could make it around third base, and I believe he almost did, to be honest with you.
He did. He almost made it, but he didn't do what Coach told him to do. So
Ball 2 outside. Count as 2 balls and a strike, 1 out in the bottom half of the third inning. And there's a ball that almost hits him. McCoy ducks, and he goes all the way to the backstop. 3-1's a count. Hearn, and then the top of the batting order for the Cats. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. So Hearn, another speedster, is on base. No, McCoy, I'm sorry. He got the base on balls, and now here's Hearn.
Got a pinch runner coming in, number 28. Drew Wilberg.
Drew Wilberg is the courtesy runner, so McCoy can get back and get his gear on. Logan Hearn steps in from bats left-handed. 1 out, runner on first. There's a ball that's high and outside for ball 1. York looks over at first base, looks back at the pitcher. There's the next pitch, and that's a high and outside for ball 2. I'm not sure whether he's expecting that ball to curve in and drop back in, but the way it looks, it would be curving in against the wind.
Absolutely,
and we continue to talk about this wind and what it is. There is a hard-hit ball that is maybe going to be out of play. No, it's caught by the left fielder, and the runner has to get back. So Hearn flies out, and there is the second out. Here's Drake Jennings, the pitcher. He flied out his first time up. He got a base hit in that second inning and came around to score. And it was another one of those little bloop hits. Cats are taking advantage of those for sure. There's the first pitch, and that's in there for strike 1. Center fielder is playing almost lined up with the shortstop. Here's the next pitch. It's in there for strike 2. There is a huge, huge opening between center field and right field. Drake stands in. Here comes the next pitch, and that's swung on, and I believe it's
up high.
It's going to, third baseman's calling for it, and he makes the play. So the Cats have their first 3-up, 3-down inning. There was one runner left on base. After 3 innings of play, it's Neosho Wildcats 4, the Lebanon Yellow Jackets nothing. We'll be right back.
Tally Tire at 18152 East Highway 86 is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Tally Tire is your full-service car and truck headquarters. They carry name-brand tires such as Nexen, Mastercraft, and Uniroyal, ATC camper shells and bed covers, and do oil changes and tune-ups. Call Tally Tire today for all your automotive needs at 417-451-0457 or online at tallytire.com.
You found it, the ultimate car wash, the one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
Kramer, Shoemaker, and Christian, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, are up in the top half of the 4th inning for the Yellow Jackets from Lebanon. A couple of really, really close plays over there on third base. One where Lebanon player actually slid past third base, and Drake Jennings, the pitcher, was alert enough to go ahead and tag him, and then Charlton hits a little blooper to left field and thought he had third base. He has a lot of speed, and the ball was just handled really, really nicely and got in and tagged him just before he got there. So third base is kind of a hot spot today.
Seems to be, huh?
It does. This is the first baseman. He steps in, Kramer, and there's the first ball, and it's hit, and it's over to Harville. Harville over to Beavers for the first out.
It's a great throw.
And that was Colton Harville, let me say, the third baseman. He showed his arm because that ball was actually fielded back behind third base, just barely in fair territory. Here's number 13, the number 4 hitter, Brody Shoemaker. He plays center field. First pitch from Harville. And there's call strike 1. I said first pitch from Harville. I'm Jennings. I'm sorry.
Whoops.
And here comes the second pitch, and that swung on took a little something off of that one. Foul ball, strike 2. Glad to have you with us this afternoon. It's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon for baseball. The wind is blowing. We can't probably talk about that enough, but there is the next pitch, and that is a ball. So we've got a ball and 2 strikes on Shoemaker. The next pitch, and that is... No, it was appealed to the base umpire, and the base umpire said, no, that's a ball. So that'll run the count to a ball and 2 strikes. There's the next pitch, and it's inside. That should make the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Comes the pitch from Jennings, and it's ball 4. He walked him. So that is the second pass that Jennings has issued in the ball game to Shoemaker, who grounded out 5-3 his first time up. Here's the second baseman, Braden Christensen. He struck out his first time up. Jennings looks over towards second base a little bit, and there's the first pitch. Swung on, strike 1. I think what the pitcher is doing, he's looking back at Jaden Fisher, and Jaden is giving him some sort of a sign as to whether to try to make the pickoff play to first. Just like that right there, and got back, and the runner Shoemaker was back in plenty of time. Comes the pitch. It's swung on to third baseman. Gets past the diving third baseman, and everybody will move up 1. So Shoemaker's at second base, and a base hit by Christian. Here's Gilby, third baseman. First time that Drake has had to worry about having more than 1 runner on base.
Yep.
There's no outs, and it's top half of the 4th. There's the first pitch, and that is low for ball 1. There's the next pitch, and that is high, and it's going to be out of play. Leaving the count at 1-1. So far, Jennings has thrown 22 pitches, and he's got 9 pitches in this inning so far. So actually, he's got 31 pitches for the outing tonight. There's the next pitch, and there's another foul ball right back up here. And the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out. We're in the top half of the 4th inning. Comes the next pitch from Drake, and that's in there for call strike 2. Got him looking. Strike 3. So Gilby is flied out, and now he is struck out, and that is a second out. And here is the designated hitter, Malachi Simmons.
He gave that kid 3 of the same pitch.
Mm-hmm. Sure did. Simmons flied out the first time he was up, and he gets out of the way of that one for ball 1. Cats need to get out of this inning right here and not allow them to score anymore, and then we need to come back and rattle the bats.
Yeah.
4-0 in this kind of wind is not a ball game, and there is a ball that is hit right back to Drake. He gets it over to Beavers, so the out is a 1-2-3, and that retires the side. We leave 2 stranded and 1 hit. After 3.5 innings of play, the score is Neosho Wildcats 4, Lebanon Yellow Jackets 0. We'll be right back.
You found it, the ultimate.
The law offices of Wood & Peterson is sponsoring this portion of Neosho Wildcat Athletics, located at 217 South Lafayette, Neosho, and 431 Virginia Avenue in Joplin. They serve Southwest Missouri with personal claim representation. For more information, the phone number is 417-451-4141 or online at neoshoattorney.com. The law offices of Wood & Peterson are proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
2, 3, and 4 hitters for Neosho Wildcats coming up in the bottom half of the 4th inning. It'll be Colton Harville, Brody Crane, and Tevin Beaver, the first baseman. The ball's thrown down to second base, and we'll be ready to go. We want to thank some more of our sponsors here just real quick. Joe Ringstaff, he's your financial advisor from Edward Jones. First Free Will Baptist Church, Family Market, Farm Bureau agent Josh Johnson, Affordable Propane, Show Me Realty, Edgewood Bowl, Free Market Physician Healthcare, and Tally Tire. Here we go with the first pitch from York, and that's high for ball 1. He looks down. Here comes his second pitch, and that's swung on by Harville. He had a base hit and a walk, and he scored twice for the Cats. Next pitch, and that is high, foul ball. It's going to be back out of play.
Boom, right by the pole.
That'll even the count at 1-1. Comes the pitch from York. York seems to have settled down just a little bit the longer he goes through the ball game, Matt.
He seems to be getting better. I don't know if he was trying to throw a bunch of junk.
Well, that one was low and outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. There's the next pitch, and that's swung on.
Nice
and it's going to go right up the middle. So Harville is on with his third hit of the evening. Or second hit, and he walked once, but he's been on base all 3 times. Here's the designated hitter, Brody Crane.
Popped up last.
He looks at 10. Then he got on base because the wind played with it a little bit. It sure did. He could just get the barrel of the bat on the ball and send it, turn on one, call strike 1 on the outside corner. And the wind continues to blow. There'll be a JV ball game after this one, probably going to start about, this is the bottom of the 4th inning, and we've not played quite an hour yet. There's another throw back to first base, and Harville back in plenty of time. Gets off a little bit. Crane takes a poke at it.
Oh.
And up and throw down to first base, but Harville's back.
They're definitely paying attention out there, I can tell you. The Yellow Jackets are.
Well, they are. Cats. They held the Cats scoreless for the first time last inning. So far, there's no outs and a runner on first, and there is a ball that is hit to right field.
I know.
And it's going to be caught, and Harville has got to hurry up and get back, and he does. That was the right idea, trying to hit the ball over to right field. It just didn't pan out. So Crane flies out to the right fielder, and there's one away. Here's Beavers. He walked once and has had a base hit. We had the hit and run on that time, and Harville was actually about a step off at second base by the time that ball was caught. Steps off a little bit. There's the first pitch, and that is a swung on, and that one's, maybe it's going to be caught. We'll see. And it was caught.
Boy,
So Crane and Beavers both fly out, and here is Gage Harville. York looks over at first base, and there's the first pitch, and there goes Harville. And he's there in plenty of time.
What a slide.
Yes, it was. Great slide. So Harville's got his third stolen base of the afternoon to go with a couple of hits. And Gage, the shortstop, batting left-handed. York looks down. Here's the pitch, and that's swung on, and that's going to be in there, and we're going to pick up another run. And Gage is going to stand up at second base. So Gage gets a two-bagger, and the Cats pick up another run. That makes it 5-0. Yeah, we've got two outs. We should have expected that, shouldn't we? We score most of our runs with two outs.
Seems we rally at the end.
Yeah. Here is Wyatt Woodward. He is the left fielder. He flied out to left field, and he struck out his last time up. He steps in batting left-handed. Gage is on second. York looks back over at him. Here comes the first pitch, and then he gets into one and fouls it off for strike one. York's been a little more economical so far. He's only thrown 10 pitches in this inning. That's the least that he's thrown. Looks down at second base. Here comes the pitch, and that's high. Oh, it's called strike.
No, that was a curveball.
Yeah, it certainly was. It must have curved when we didn't see it. And that'll meet no balls and 2 strikes on Woodward. It'll be Charlton, McCroy, and Hearn. Swung on, foul ball, strike, and count will remain the same. Charlton hit a little blooper out to left field. That's what we were referring to a while ago, but with his speed, he thought he would get there, and there's swung on, strike 3. Woo. And he did not, but the Cats pick up one. So after 4 innings of play, the score is Neosho Wildcats 5, Lebanon Yellow Jackets nothing. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
The Sports Locker, located at 1206 Neosho Boulevard, Neosho, is a proud supporter and supplier of Neosho Wildcat Athletics. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. They carry all the biggest brands, including Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas sports apparel and equipment. Be sure to check out their Facebook page at Sports Locker Team Sales and Specials, or their number is 417-451-9300. Proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
This ballgame is being brought to you by the law offices of Wood and Peterson, Newmac Electric, Sports Locker, KSN KODE, Zach's Car Wash, McKay Quality Roofing, Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce, the YMCA, Christian Healthcare's Ministry, Netflix, or CareNet, Pregnancy Center, Banner Church of the Nazarene Access Family. First batter is up, will be, looks like it is Gross. And he hits the ball, and it gets into first base, and it's going to go and go and go. And if he's got some speed, he'll get around to third, but he stops right there. Charlton gets the ball in very quickly. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Honey.
Bunted last time.
Yes, he did. So the runner is on second base. There's the first pitch swung on. Foul ball, strike one to Huckleberry Honey, the left fielder. I still don't see anybody warming up in the Wildcats.
Not in the Wildcat
bullpen.
But they're warming up over in the...
There's the next pitch, and he took something off of that, and that was in there for call strike one.
They got people warming up in the Yellow Jackets.
Yes, they do. So next pitch, and that gets away from the catcher, but he gets it down. Nice play by McCroy, but runner gets back to second. He kept that ball in front of him. He knew where it was the whole time, and that gave him an opportunity to try to throw it to second. That's what you can't ask for much more out of your catcher than that.
It was a great throw, too.
It was, and there was a called strike, and that got him.
He threw that ball right where it needed to go. It landed right in his glove, right there at the bag.
So there's the first out, but that is the, let's see, 1, 2, that is the second strikeout for Drake Jennings. Here's the top of the batting order, Cole Milliken. He's had a base hit, and he grounded out, and there's the first pitch, and that is low for ball one. Nobody's really hit the ball with any authority. I mean, even that one that went past first base was just barely over the first baseman's head, and it rolled a long ways. There's a second pitch, and that's outside for a ball.
Well, you know what? The turf might be damp, and that's why it's not bouncing in the way, you know.
That's very possible. There's the next one, and that goes third. But nice job by Harville, and he gets the ball down to third, and they get the...
Oh,
got him! What a great
wow.
heads-up play. Ball goes from Carlton Harville over to Beavers at first base, right back to
amazing
Gage Harville, and gets the runner. That is the second time that Gress has been thrown out at second base. So that'll end the top half of the fifth inning. We will go to the bottom half of the fifth inning. Cats coming up. The score is 5-0. We'll be right back.
McKay Quality Roofing is a proud supporter of KNEO Radio and the Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They're located in their offices at 811 South Neosho Boulevard. They specialize in roof removal and replacement of residential and commercial properties. In order to serve you better, they have offices in Neosho, Cassville, and Grove, Oklahoma. Call McKay Quality Roofing at 417-455-3326 for a free quote, or go online at McKayQualityRoofing.com for more information. Go Cats!
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce invites you to download the new Experience Neosho app, available for free on the Apple and Google Play Store. Your guide to eat, shop, play, and stay in Neosho, and your direct link to KNEO Wildcat Sports. Download the app, register to win weekly prizes, and listen to your favorite Wildcat sports. Good luck, Wildcats. We can't wait to hear you ring that bell.
Well, we have a pitching change for the Yellow Jackets. Austin Gilby, who was playing third base, and Beckett York will just trade places. Gilby comes in, and he's getting his warm-ups. But after 4 full innings, or 4.5, full 4 innings, York leaves, and he gave up 5 runs and 6 hits. He struck out a couple. The ball goes down to second base.
York seems to be an all-around guy. I mean,
he does, yes, sir.
He pitches, catches, and now he's on third.
Yeah. And the first batter is Cooper Charlton. Plays right field. He is our number 2 pitcher, but Coach gets all of those guys in. They're swung on, strike 1. Looked like a little changeup right off the bat, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or some sort of a little curveball. Here comes the next pitch from Gilby, and there's another swung on, strike 2. Charlton will step back for just a minute and shake his head just once or twice. Now he's back in there. And we'll see what Mr. Gilby gives him this time. And high and outside for a ball. So it's the bottom half of the 5th inning. Cats are up. There's nobody out, and the score's 5-0 in favor of the Cats. There's the next pitch, and Charlton reached for that one. I believe it's going to be foul, and I don't know if it's to be caught or not.
Caught. York caught it.
Yeah, York caught it, so there's the first out of the side. And here is catcher Aiden McCoy. He sacrificed over his first time up, and then he got a free pass his second time. There's the first pitch, and that's a foul ball out of play, strike 1.
Gilby must have some spin on that ball.
Yeah, apparently he does, and look at the wind, the way it's blowing his shirt around. There's the next pitch, and there's called strike, and that is the second kind of change-up strike that we've seen. I think you're right. Logan Hearn will be up next for the Cats. And that was swung on. He just reached out there and tapped it, and that is a base hit for McCoy. That's the first line shot I think we've seen, Matt, other than a ground ball that got through the infield. Number 28 is going to be the courtesy runner for him.
Drew Wilberg.
Well, how old is he?
He is a junior.
He's a junior, okay. So Wilberg is at first base. Here's Hearn, then it'll be the top of the batting order. Hearn steps in and he bats left-handed. There's the first pitch, and that one's going right back up through the middle. Oh, what a great play by the second baseman, and he got him. Thought that was going to be a base hit, and second baseman dove for it at the last minute. So that was a 4-6 second out. And the Cats have got a runner on first base in Logan Hearn. He is a fielder's choice. There's top of the batting order, Jennings. There's the first pitch, and it's a swung on, and it looks like it goes right back to the shortstop.
And that
ends the inning. So there was one hit, one runner left on base, and after 5 complete innings of play, your Neosho Wildcats 5, Lebanon Yellow Jackets nothing. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Mark Taylor, General Manager of KNEO Radio and the CEO of the Sky High and Neosho Wildcats Broadcasting Network. As we bring you these high school sports broadcasts each week, there are additional hours and behind-the-scenes work that has to be done to bring you this broadcast. And there's more and more equipment needed with the expansion of the internet or radio broadcast equipment, social media, plus there's fees, announcer costs. It all can add up. If you're a business, we could use your sponsorship. And if not, we are a non-for-profit broadcaster, so your gift is tax deductible. With less sponsors, we have to cut back on how many games or events done, and if that number drops too low, then we have to make other changes. So we would appreciate and look forward to the opportunity to get your business, church, or yourself involved. Contact us to find out more by calling 417-451-5636 or go to kneo.org and contact us there. We will follow up.
The Freeman Family YMCA is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Serving the four-state area, the Freeman Family Y believes in putting Christian principles into practice through programs, building a healthy spirit, mind, and body. With 2 locations to serve the area in Grove, Oklahoma, and Neosho, the Freeman Family Y open 5:30 to 9 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday. For more information, you can go online to ymcaswmo.org or call us at 417-455-9999. Welcome back to the Roy Shaver Stadium in the Marion Family Complex. The Cats are up by a score of 5-0. Drake Jennings has given up 3 hits. He's had a couple of strikeouts and a passed ball, but the secret has been the Cats' defense and base stealing. And there's the first pitch, and it's low for a ball. Cats had a strange double play the last inning. It was 5-3-6, and Gress was thrown out going to third base for the second time of the night. I guess you could just say that Kyson Gress is just having some bad luck, couldn't you? Looks like the base runner York was going to try to bunt, and then he held back, and it was ball 2. Drake Jennings has done a nice job on the mound for the Cats tonight. There's the next pitch, and that's going to pop it back up, and it's going to be out of play, and I think it's probably going to end up over, well, not quite into the softball field back behind us. There's the next pitch, and that is swung on, and center fielder Hearn is going back, and he's giving chase. And that ball is
stopped at the fence.
And York is going to end up at third base. So there's the first really hard hit of the night, and the wind picked that one up and carried it. Herndon thought he had a beat on it and was going back towards the fence, and that wind came up and blew it in between him and right fielder Woodard. So Lebanon's got something going, and here is number 25, Harrison Kramer. He's the first baseman. First pitch from Jennings, and that's swung on to the shortstop. Shortstop gets the ball over and gets it to first base, and will allow the run because we get the out. So Lebanon is on the scoreboard, but it was a 6-3 ground out, and there's one out in the top half of the 6th inning. Brody Shoemaker, number 13, the center fielder, is up. Jennings looks down, and there's the first pitch, and that's swung on right back over to Gage Harville again, over to first base to Beavers, and there is the second 6-3 ground out of the inning.
You're not going to say this about Drake Jennings. He may not have very many strikeouts, but he's dependent on the guys out around him, and it's really working out pretty stinking well.
Well, I'll tell you, for a guy that plays center field and has been a mainstay on this ball club really for a couple of years, he has pitched 6 innings, or will have by the time he gets done, and I don't think Keith Kilgore can ask for a whole lot more. He's given the starters a chance to really rest. Here comes the second pitch, and there is swung on, and that's going to be a base hit, I believe. We say that we believe because we really can't see over at left field, but Christian is on first. That's his second base hit of the night. And here's the pitcher of record, Austin Gilby. Came in relief of York in the last inning. There's the first pitch, and that almost got away from McCoy for a ball. Nice job by McCoy to stab that one and stare down at first base. Gilby struck out his last time up. He got on by way of an error earlier in the ball game, back in the second inning. There's the next pitch from Jennings, and that's low and outside for a ball. There's 2 outs, 2 balls, and no strikes on Austin Gilby, the pitcher for the Yellow Jackets. JV ball game right after this. There's still plenty of time for you to get out here. See the last part of this one. There he took something off of that a little bit, and that's 3-0. I believe that was a curveball that did not curve. Here comes the next pitch, and it's called strike. And Gilby was taken all the way. Here's the next pitch underway, and
boy, you don't want to start doing this.
Here's the designated hitter, Malachi Simmons. And McCoy wants to go out and talk to his pitcher for just a minute or two, maybe give him a chance to rest and settle down a little bit. It looked like that Coach Drew Osborne was going to come out, and I believe he was called back. So I think what we were doing was stalling for a little bit of time that time, and that's what happened. Coach Wheeler down on third base is telling his base runners, ball goes up in the air, you keep running, obviously. Here's a first pitch, and it goes over to shortstop, and he gets away with it, gets out of his glove and gets into center field, and the second run scores. So now we've got runners on first and second, and there's 2 outs.
It's the second time Gage has done that, fumbled the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the wind is messing with him or what is going on there, but yeah, comes a swung on. Let's see if he does that to this one. No, he doesn't. And everybody is safe. He tried to throw the ball over to third base, but Colton was not there in time. That loads the bases. So they've had 2 come in, and now here comes Coach Osborne. He's going to talk for just a minute or two. The batter is the left fielder, Huckleberry Honey. He struck out the last time up. One pitch could tie this ball game up. In fact, they could go a run ahead if it was hit in the right place and hit hard. Cats have had a couple or 3 uncharacteristic errors.
Yeah.
Running errors and a couple out in the field, but I think it just tells you a little something about this wind and what it can do for you. All right, things are taken care of on the mound, and we'll be ready to go. I want to thank just a few more of our sponsors. We want to thank Zach's Car Wash. We want to thank Access Family Care, 4 State Printing. Josh Meeker, he is your shelter insurance. Big Nickel and Faucets. Greenhouse, their first pitch is called strike 1. Jennings looks down. Now he's pitching from the stretch. Swung on, strike 2. One more pitch and we get out of the inning and we come in and rattle the bats. We need to answer back for sure. There's the next pitch, and that's swung on, strike 3. Got him. So when it had to be done, Jennings comes up with the 3rd strikeout, but not until Lebanon picks up 2 runs. So after 5.5 innings of play, the score's Neosho Wildcats 5, Lebanon Yellow Jackets 2. We'll be right back after this.
Americans have a big healthcare problem. Over 100 million citizens carry medical debt while spending on overpriced and complicated health insurance. As Christians, we don't have to pay for a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is a faith-based alternative to health insurance at half the cost. Plus, you can enroll at any time. Stand up to insurance and join CHM today.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Welcome back. It's the bottom half of the sixth inning. The pitcher of record for Lebanon is Austin Gilby. He is in relief of Beckett York. Cats have picked up 5 runs. They scored 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and 1 more in the fourth. The Yellow Jackets just picked up the first 2 runs of the night for them, and the Cats lead by a score of 5-2. It's going to be Colton Harville, who, Matt, by the way, has come around and scored 3 times tonight. Then it'll be Brody Crane and Tevin Beaver. Ball goes down to second base. We'll go around the horn, and here we go. Cats need to come back and answer right here. We don't mind having the 7th inning with a little bit of drama, but we don't need it like this, do we?
No.
Gilby looks down. Harville's ready. Here comes the first pitch, and it's outside for a ball. There's the second pitch, and he took that one and he popped it up, and that ball is liable to drop in, and it does. And Harville's going to be in second base. So he has had a 3-hit night. And the Cats have got something going with a runner on second and no outs in the 6th. That ball popped up, and I think the center fielder looked at the left fielder. The left fielder looked back at him, and it blew the wind just a little bit and dropped right in there.
It did.
And Harville took advantage of that. And here comes the coach. I guess he wants to talk for just a minute. Alex Wheeler, in his first year with the Yellow Jackets, he came over from East Newton, so we've known him for a while. All the Wildcats all the time. Check out the Neosho Wildcats dedicated video portal on kneo.org. It's the dedicated site completely to your Neosho Wildcats. Watch the games live and see in upcoming game schedule in Neosho on the Neosho Wildcats portal at www.kneo.org. And here we go. Brody Crane's up. He has walked once. He has had a single, and he touched the ball out to right field for a fly ball out. Here comes the first pitch from Gilby. And it's called strike 1. Tevin Beaver, who's done a whale of a job over at first base tonight, then Gage Harville and Wyatt Woodward. And there's a swung on, fouled straight back. That'll even the count, or that'll make the count strike 2. Gilby looks down at second base. Here comes the pitch, and it's took a little something off of it, and that was high and inside for a ball. Good crowd out here tonight to watch the Cats. Hope we can treat them with a victory before it's all over with. Gilby looks at second. Here comes a pitch, and Crane swings at it, and he's out. It was an inside pitch that fooled him, and it was a little bit low. Here's Beavers. Beavers has walked, had a single, and flied out to left field. Runner on second base. The Cats don't need to let this opportunity get away. No. Harville's got some speed. If he happens to see the catcher sleeping a little bit, he could be at third base. There's the first pitch, and it's low and inside for ball 1 on Beavers.
Gilby's got some slow pitches.
He does. He absolutely does. And that, that may be a lot of it. He's certainly a different type pitcher. There's a call strike. York didn't have a whole lot of speed, but he had some, he mixed them up pretty good as well. Looks back at second base. Here's a pitch, and there's a swung on, and it goes in between second and third. And here comes Colton. He's going to come around and score for the 4th time tonight. So the Cats pick up one of those two. And Beavers on first base with a single. Here is Gage Harville. Gage struck out his first time up. He walked, and then he had a double on a little blooper that got in between everybody out there, and he just kept right on running. That's what we talk about. That's what we're saying when we talk about aggressive base stealing. Gilby throws the ball back to first base, but Beaver's back in plenty of time. Big hole right over second base. Here comes a pitch, and there is a runner, and he makes it. So Beavers is on second base with a stolen base, and the Cats have now got another one in scoring position. Beaver didn't have a real good jump that time, but he kept right on going, and the shortstop played the ball on the first bounce, and it got past him. There's the next pitch, and that's high. For ball one. Gilby's thrown 10 pitches so far in this inning, and there's nobody in their bullpen warming up. There's the next pitch, and that goes over to first base, and first baseman take it himself, but our runner gets on to third. So that was really more of a sacrifice. 3 unassisted for the second out, and Beaver, the first baseman, is on third. Coming up to bat is Wyatt Woodard. He's flied out and struck out. Cats need to hit right here, and there's the first pitch, and it's low for ball one. Woodard stands back in there. That's the next pitch, and that is a strike. Was that a little big hanging curveball, wasn't it? That'll even the count at 1-1. And Woodard waits. There's the next pitch, and that's swung on, and that is popped up. And the center fielder and the left fielder are after it, and they make the left fielder makes the play, but the Cats pick up one. And after 6 innings of play, the score is your Neosho Wildcats 6, the Lebanon Yellow Jackets 2. We'll be right back after this.
Chapman Sawmill and Hardwood Lumber is located at 17402 Kentucky Road in Neosho. They specialize in custom woodworking, wide plank flooring, and custom sawing. They make headboards, dining tables, coffee tables, and even stairs for a staircase. For more information and see some of their work and get pricing, call 417-438-5507.
Hi, I'm Mark Taylor, General Manager of KNEO Radio and the CEO of the Sky High and Neosho Wildcats Broadcasting Network. As we bring you these high school sports broadcasts each week, there are additional hours and behind-the-scenes work that has to be done to bring you this broadcast. And there's more and more equipment needed with the expansion of the internet or radio broadcast equipment, social media, plus there's fees, announcer costs. It all can add up. If you're a business, we could use your sponsorship. And if not, we are a non-for-profit broadcaster, so your gift is tax deductible. With less sponsors, we have to cut back on how many games or events done, and if that number drops too low, then we have to make other changes. So we would appreciate and look forward to the opportunity to get your business, church, or yourself involved. Contact us to find out more by calling 417-451-5636 or go to kneo.org and contact us there. We will follow up.
All right, it is the top half of the 7th inning. Cole Milliken came up, and he flied out to Cooper Charlton out in right field for the first out to retire the side. Stay tuned for the postgame show, which is brought to you by Arvest Bank. We'll be talking to the coach and maybe a couple of players as well. Here's Breckham York. Breckett came around and scored in the 6th inning. He had a triple, but then he's flied out and grounded out. Wind still blowing hard. Comes the first pitch and swung on strike one. Drake Jennings is working on, I believe, what will probably be his first complete game, Matt.
Yeah, looks like it's heading that way.
And there's a ground ball that is hit to Beavers over at first base, and he will take that unassisted for the second out. And here's Harrison Kamner, the first baseman. He has grounded out all 3 times that he's been up, twice to Gage, or once to Gage, and then twice to Colton at third base. I had to be careful, make sure when I said Harville, I said which one. There's a first pitch, and that's outside for a ball. There's the second pitch, and that swung on, and it jumped up and did not catch it, but that'll be a line shot, and there will be a hit for him. Get the ball back in. This will wrap it up for the Cats this week. Next week they'll have a ball game on Monday that we will not be telecasting, but then there will be one Thursday night with Glendale. Glendale of record right now is 8-2. They're not only a COC rival, but they are a district rival as well. And there is a pinch runner over on first base.
That is Austin Yackel.
Austin Yackel, and Brody Shoemaker steps in. There's the first pitch. Nice job by McCoy of keeping it in front of him for ball one. Still nobody working in the Wildcats bullpen. I think that's a great, great compliment to Drake Jennings. There's the next pitch, and that is swung on. Gage gets it over to second base for the out.
That's it.
So 6-4, and there is the third out to retire the side. And that finishes it up for the Cats. The Cats win the ball game. That moves them to 8-3. And the Yellow Jackets lose, so that'll mean that they are 3-7. Jennings did a great, great job of going the distance for the Wildcats, and we'll have some more statistics. And we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back, and then we'll be ready for the post-game show, and we'll listen to what Coach Keith Kilgore and I have a feeling Drake Jennings and maybe one or two others will be up. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Joe Ringstaff is a proud sponsor of the Neosho Wildcats on KNEO. For all your investment needs, call 417-451-7789 or stop by the office at 2502 Lusk Drive, Suite D in Neosho. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Helping your teen learn smart money habits doesn't have to be complicated. First Community Bank's teen checking account is built for tweens and teens 11 and up with parents in mind. Teens get their own debit card, ATM access, and mobile check deposit, plus a bundled savings account to help them plan ahead. Parents get peace of mind with no monthly fees, parental debit card controls, alerts and notifications, joint ownership, and full account access. Stop by any First Community Bank location to open a teen checking account today. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for details.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057. Check out the Family Market Facebook page for weekly specials. Go Wildcats from Family Market of Neosho.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Today's sporting event is being made available for your family by Chris Wright of Dig Right Equipment Rental, located just off Highway 49 at the Carterville exit by Casey's. Open Monday through Friday and Saturdays till noon with rentals of outdoor construction equipment and even attachments for your machines. Chris Wright of Dig Right Equipment Rentals is a proud supporter of today's game. 417-317-4995.
Missourians know we've got their back. For 75 years, they've turned to Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance for dependable, personalized life insurance coverage. That's 75 years protecting families and the lives they've built. For small-town values and big-time protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Welcome back. You're finished with that first ball game. There's a JV ball game coming up in just a few minutes, but the man of the hour is Drake Jennings, normally an outfielder for the Wildcats. Did everything Coach Keith Kilgore asked him to do and then some. He pitched a complete game. It was a 6-hitter, and he had 4 strikeouts. Gave up 2 runs in the 6th inning. As far as the Yellow Jackets are concerned, they struck out 2 Wildcats. The Cats had 10 hits, and they were walked 4 times. The loser of the ball game, loser of record, will be Austin Gilby, who came in the 5th inning in relief of Brecton York. So that's the final score from here. We'll be back to talk. By the way, another guy that is a hero for the Cats tonight is Colton Harville. He had 4 hits and came around and scored every time, Matt.
Yep,
you can't ask for much more than that. We'll be right back after this. We'll have the coach interview, and we'll have a couple of players as well. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be back.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
Welcome back to the postgame show. The postgame show is being brought to you by Arvest Bank of Neosho. At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. From small businesses to agriculture, whether you're looking for someone to help manage your mortgage or an expert in wealth management, we got you covered. You deserve the financial partner who cares and wants to help you reach your financial goals. Arvest of Neosho, proud to call Neosho home, and we have probably one of the 2 men of the hour, and that is a young man that we've seen play a lot of different positions. We saw him as a pinch runner when he was a lot younger, plays in the outfield now, and now you're pitching, and I'm talking about Drake Jennings. Drake, congratulations on a great win.
Thank you.
And you did probably a little bit more than what Coach Kilgore had planned for you, didn't you?
Yeah, surprised for myself even.
Yeah?
Gets a good team like this. Yeah, I think I'll be going all the way through this one.
Yeah, and then it was exciting. I mean, you had 4 strikeouts along the way too. But let me ask you a question. What about the win? Did that affect you at all?
Of course. After the last game we had, this was a big comeback we had. definitely against like other teams how they see us, just after losing to a bad team like that. But the strikeouts, I only had 4, but I could put the ball in play and trust in my team.
Yeah, and what a great job. Defense did a great job. We had a couple of errors along the way, but with the wind blowing like that, that's kind of expected. Did that bother you in the least little bit?
I thought it would, but surprisingly not.
Okay, well, they picked up 2 runs in the 6th inning, but other than that, it was a pretty uneventful ball game, and what a great win for the whole team. Certainly our pitching staff. It allows you to go ahead and do the whole ball game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You bet. Let's talk to Mr. Harville over here. Well, you need to grin just a little bit. You were 4 for 4, and you came around and scored all 4 times. So if you just look at the 4 that you scored, you beat them by yourself.
Yeah, I try and stay aggressive at the plate and barrel the ball, I guess. We need runners on, and I'm fast, so I like to steal.
It's a huge difference between York and Gilby, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gilby, I don't think he ever threw a fastball, but he threw a whole lot of junk, didn't he? Yeah, what do you do with something like that? You step up in the plate a little, in the batter's box a little bit? What's your approach?
Obviously, I talked to the guys before. I go up, and they give me that information. So I'm kind of sitting on off speed, and I know he's going to go there. He's got to put it in the zone, so stay aggressive.
Well, I'm going to talk to Coach about this in just a minute, but it seems like when they try to throw a curveball with the wind blowing the way it didn't curve.
No.
It didn't. In fact, that York was responsible for a lot of that. He only had a couple of strikeouts during the ball game, and we basically took what was given to us. Your play over on third base was exceptional again. We got a couple of guys out at third base that certainly was an argument for a minute or two for Coach Wheeler, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. It's a close play.
Yeah, all right. Well, congratulations. Great ball game. All right, Coach Keith Kilgore. Exciting win for the Cats.
It's always an exciting win. Every win is a good win, John.
Yeah, it is.
Amen.
It is. Yeah, it is. What about the wind, though? There was obviously some can of corns out there that nobody, including some of our outfielders, had trouble judging.
Well, and the wind always plays a part in any game, anywhere, and, you just got to make the adjustment.
Yeah, and speaking of adjustment, Gilby was a complete different pitcher than York. York was not a fastball, overpowering pitcher under any circumstances. But Gilby, sometimes the ball just got across the plate. What do we do? What's our approach?
York, he's a Mizzou commit. He had a plus velocity, and he tried to spin it a little bit, had trouble, locating, and I just thought we did a great job at the plate of recognition, being able to, take care of pitches that we can handle. We talked last couple of days about, trying to be aggressive early, and then, as we get in a negative count, to kind of spread out a little bit and keep our swing short. So I thought our guys, we found a way to score every inning but 2, and that's been our goal, is find a way to score 1 run per inning, and if we can find a way to score 7 runs, we should win a ball game. But we had great defensive effort, today, and multiple double plays, and but we made the routine play.
Yeah.
And and Drake, he's a competitor, and he's going to pound the zone, and he's going to make you swing the bat. He had very few walks, and that's what gave us an opportunity to win. Colton had a day at the plate, 4 for 4, even the one that hung up in the wind. When you're having a day, they seem to find, some grass somewhere, and he didn't really square that ball up, but he had a day at the plate. But we had multiple, 2 outs, hits that scored a run.
We did.
And, and that's what you got to do to win a ball game, and that's why it becomes a team effort.
Well, I know you're going to take full credit for this because
I never do, John.
You guys practice it
do.
all the time. But the 5-3-6 double play.
Hey, you know, I mean, we work on every scenario that can happen in a game. We do phases every single day, and within our phases, you know, it's about everything that can happen on the infield in the course of a game. Believe it or not, that is something that we, you know, it's one of our phases mixed in. So our kids recognize it. It becomes, you know, second nature because we do it every day. So, you know, the defensive effort was great. We did enough offensively against, you know, a good arm as well as a good team in Lebanon. I mean, they got, you know, 3 D1 players.
They do.
You know, so you got to speak volumes for, you know, the effort that Drake gave us. And, you know, we battled and did what we needed to do at the plate, but I was also equally impressed with our defensive effort. So it was a complete game, good team win.
I tell you, the kid that is becoming more and more one of my favorites is behind the plate, and that's McCoy. He does such a great job of being that block and smothering the ball and keeping it in front of him.
You know, and you don't talk enough about him, and he's just that workhorse. I mean, he is the guy that gives you his best effort every pitch, every practice, every game. He's so positive with his teammates, and he's always talking and communicating. And, you know, and that's what you got to have. You got to have a bulldog behind the plate, and that's what Aiden is. So, you know, today was about, you know, bounce back. You know, we never really found our rhythm, you know, at Waynesville Tuesday night. Now, to give Waynesville credit, they are much better, you know, than previously. And they did what they had to do to win a ball game. I mean, we were up, you know, mid-game, up 6-3, and we, you know, gave up a big inning, and we never bounced back from that. You know, so today was about getting back on track, playing our brand. You know, now we'll look forward to loading the bus Saturday and going to Springdale, playing a, you know, 6A West team. And, you know, and they're top to bottom, you know, as competitive as, you know, any state. So we're going to have to play very well. And then we got Siloam at home before we get back into conference play on Tuesday with Central.
Yeah, we want to talk for just a minute or two about the keys to the Cats. I said this is a game for us to right the ship. We're here in front of our home fans. We're going to get some support that we don't get when we're on the road. Talk about that for just a minute again. What's the psyche of our kids wanting to play in front of their own fans?
Of course, we got great fans, and they show up. And we love protecting our home field, and we talk about that, you know, that this is our field, and you're going to have the crowd behind you, and nobody comes in, you know, without a fight. And so our kids play at a different level at home, but we got to play with that same energy on the road. You know, when you played 36 ball games, you know, you can't have 36 home games. So, you know, we went to Florida, you know, we drove, you know, 24 hours there, 24 hours back. Well, that ride to Waynesville, 2.5 hours, you know, it's like I told them, man, we drove 48 hours on a bus, 2.5 hours, you know, but it just, you know, it was just never found that rhythm, and it took us a while to take a lead, and, you know, but you just never felt comfortable, but that's baseball. That's why you get to, you know, play the next day or the next day, and you play, you know, 36 games, so it's a long season, and, you know, you got to wash it, and that's what I told the kids. We got back at 12:30 Tuesday night. Well, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we meet at the indoor at 6:15. I told them, don't be late. They got 4 hours of sleep. Every one of them showed up for 6:15 workout off 4 hours of sleep. That shows me their will to win, you know, and they're going to do whatever it takes. So, great bunch to coach, and I look forward to being on the field again.
All right, Coach. First of all, let me wish you a happy Easter.
The same. Amen.
It's going to be a great, great Easter this weekend.
Yes, it will.
And we will see you next time around. Congratulations on a great win.
Thank you. Go Cats.
All right. And there you have it. That's exactly where you get it from the horse's mouth, and that's Coach Keith Kilgore. And talk about the commitment of these cats, a commitment that says that they were up and working out on 4 hours sleep after coming back from Waynesville, a commitment that says that they're excited to be able to play every day and how much they love their own fans. So once again, the Neosho Wildcats win. Drake Jennings has a complete ball game. I think he gave up 4 hits, if I remember. He had 6 hits, and he had 4 strikeouts. So and the defense backed him up. So we're excited about that. So from here, John Ball, Matt Ball, we will see you next Thursday night right here as the Cats take on Glendale. So till we see you again, first of all, have a great Easter and go Cats!
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into...
Hi, I'm Barry Reel with First Free Will Baptist